Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Temperatures broke the 30-degree mark in Rockford for the first time in a week, hitting 31 degrees for that afternoon high temperature. But now underneath, at least initially, a somewhat clear sky. Those temperatures are starting to drop again. We're down to 27 in Rockford, as well as out in Freeport, still holding on to 30 in Dixon and in Rochelle. 25, the current temperature in Poplar Grove. We'll get a gradual increase in cloud cover as we head through the night tonight. Our next couple of weather systems bypassing us, mostly to the north, but we will see the increase in that cloud cover. That will keep our temperatures once again lofted a bit higher than where they had been for the last few nights. We'll only drop into the teens this time around. I'll let you know if that warmer start to the day will kick off a milder afternoon, coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Right now at 6, calling all artists to the Pretzel City. The annual Freeport Art Walk took place earlier today, and local artists had their best work on display. Plus, dive into an intense career field at the Discovery Center Museum, how local residents got to meet professionals and learn all about engineering. And the weekend continues at the Rockford Home Show, local vendors helping those with home improvements and community bonding.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Rianne Weil. Thanks for joining us tonight. Freeport was the place to be today as artists, small businesses, and breweries teamed up for a downtown festival. Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz was there to catch it all.
From art to cookies to pottery and of course beer, Freeport small businesses are on full display for the Arctic Ale and Art Walk.
This is awesome. I didn't know what to expect.
Tina Canova is one of over a dozen artists whose work is on display in the Pretzel City. The event, put on by the Greater Freeport Partnership, brings together local artists, breweries, and small businesses for the entire community to enjoy.
It's fantastic. I've had homeschool mothers here. I've had a couple of kids came up once and did some painting. It lets people know we're here. And I think it says a lot about Freeport.
Kelsey Fitzpatrick agrees. She's traveled from the Quad Cities to see Freeport for the first time.
It's been awesome. We got cookies, hot chocolate, beer. We went shopping already, and we've only been here for, maybe like an hour. This is actually my first time in downtown Freeport, and it's so cute. I didn't realize how many cute shops were actually down here.
The Cookie Jar was a popular spot, and owner Angela Conroy says bringing the city together for events like these gets everyone invested.
Community pride, absolutely. It shows a lot of support for our small businesses, and we could use more events like this. So it would be great if some of the other smaller communities would join in, and if we could do an epic walk where it's through all the little towns.
In Freeport, for your home team, I'm Blake Dietz.
Visitors got to experience and learn all about engineering at Rockford's Discovery Center Museum today. The museum helped celebrate the world of innovation and creativity with its Discover Engineering workshop. Those in attendance got to participate in hands-on exploration and demonstrations provided by top engineering firms all throughout the Rockford area. One organizer says the event gives children a platform to engage with professionals in engineering.
I think it's great to give our engineering partners a platform so that people know all of the incredible businesses that we have in our community and organizations that work in the engineering sphere. But also it helps kiddos understand just how creative engineering is. This is all about fun and creativity and engagement, and so it's a perfect fit for our campus.
McKay says this is an annual event, so it will be back every February, and more events can be found on their website, discoverycentermuseum.org. And Rockford's Allen Chapel AME Church celebrated its founding father today. It's a celebration all about Father Richard Allen and the birth of African Methodist Episcopal Church. The event is celebrated throughout the United States. Those with the church say if not for Richard Allen and his contributions, the AME Church would not be in existence today. This year's event helped showcase the talents from Allen and the Rockford community, worshiping in story, music, song, and poetry. And the lead pastor believes the celebration is an opportunity for reflection.
To help us to endure for the present battles that we have to go through, or even just the battle difficulties that we have to go through individually as well as with our group, as a person, with our family and the community alike. so we can forge our way and to make this place a better place for everybody to live in humanity and love and care for each other.
Father Halbert says especially during Black History Month, his church takes a moment to reflect on its past and the ability to move forward. And a bookstore in Chicago is being recognized this month as well. When Semicolon Books first opened, its owner was the third Black women-owned bookstore in the city, but the first to be opened at that moment. Founder Danny Moore took her passion for art and books and saw an opportunity for a business. While battling cancer, Moore took her store to the next level and is still sharing her love for reading with customers every day. During Black History Month, Moore shares her favorite book off the shelf.
Rest is resistance. Trisha Hersey, go to bed. That's what the book is about. Trisha says go to bed. Trisha says that as Black people, you have to sit down. Every fight is not our fight, and we are better when we are rested. Our health is on the line.
Moore says she's excited for the future of her store and how she plans to grow it. And join us Wednesday for an Eyewitness News special honoring the many contributions of African Americans to the state line. Honoring Black History airs Wednesday at 4:30 on Fox 39. And the weekend continues for the 44th annual Rockford Home Show that features local vendors helping visitors improve their homes. The show is being held at the Indoor Sports Center in Loves Park. The goal of the event is to help people with any and everything for their spring home projects. More than 200 area vendors are in attendance. There is also a wildlife exhibit from Hoo Haven at the show. Director of Public Relations for Hoo Haven, Donald Cizik, says the annual show is a great opportunity to connect with the community.
We do the home show every single year. It's kind of our way to give back to the community. We bring out all the animals, do education engagement, do education about all of our free events that we host at Hoo Haven all year long. So it's just our way to get out into the public and and educate people about what we're doing.
The show continues tomorrow. It runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Coming up next, several senior military leaders ousted by President Trump Friday night, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. More on the federal shakeup when we return.
Our temperatures made their way into the 30s for the first time in a week, despite starting in the single digits. We do have a few more colder nights than average, but the milder trend continues as we head into next week. How warm we could get by the time we hit the middle of the week, coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Rianne Weil, Drew Collins, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Now to the latest on the firings in the federal government. The FAA also hit with layoffs, including teams who make maps used by air traffic controllers. And some Americans are expressing frustration with President Trump. Here's ABC's Selena Wang with the latest.
In an unprecedented move, President Trump firing the nation's top military leader, General C.Q. Brown, ousted from his position as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Several other senior leaders also fired, including Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to serve as the Navy's top admiral. Brown was nominated by Trump in his first term, but has come under fire as Trump aims to rid the military of leaders who support diversity and equity, as Brown and some of the others who were fired have done. The president nominating Dan Kane to be Brown's replacement, a retired three-star general who has never served in a four-star position. All of this comes as the Pentagon prepares to lay off 5,400 civilian workers beginning next week in the first round of cuts that could total tens of thousands, as the Pentagon aims to cut between 5 and 8% of its civilian workforce. Layoffs also hitting the Federal Aviation Administration. More than 100 probationary employees have been terminated, including those that produce air traffic navigation maps. Sources tell ABC News.
We want to make government smaller, more efficient.
President Trump insists these cuts are making the government more efficient, but voters across the country are pushing back. In a district near Atlanta, voters confronting Republican Congressman Rich McCormick.
The people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
GOP Representative Tracy Mann facing pushback in Colby, Kansas.
Is there anything that Trump and Eli could do that you would not support? I'm sure. Oh, tell me.
And polls show voters are unhappy with Trump's handling of one of their top issues, inflation, and his campaign promise to bring down prices on day one. Selena Wang, ABC News, Washington.
And the 6 hostages who were released by Hamas Friday arrived in Israeli hospitals and reunited with family members today. The hostages released include 3 Israeli men kidnapped from a music festival and another man who was visiting family in Israel when Hamas first attacked on October 7, 2023. 2 other released hostages were held by Hamas for about a decade after each entered Gaza on their own. About 60 hostages remain in Gaza. Half of them are believed to be dead. More sunshine and a little warmer out there for us today. When we come back, meteorologist Jordan Wolf is in to tell us about the 40-degree temperatures we could see coming up. His full forecast is next.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Our temperatures once again climbing from one day to the next. This time around by a margin even more so than where we were yesterday. And many spots ended up hitting into the 30s compared to the 20s where we were yesterday and low 20s and teens the day before. Many locations around 8 to 10 or even 12, 15 degrees above where they were around this time yesterday. And that has led to many spots that reached into the 30s, including a high temperature of 31 in Rockford. That was the first time that we actually hit the 30-degree mark since last Saturday. Ever since then, we've been below 30 degrees, but we made it up to 31. We're now at 27 there, 28 in Rochelle, 32 in Sublette and in Sterling, 28 the current temperature in Dixon. A couple of our weather watchers out in DeKalb County, Terry out in Genoa reporting a temperature of 31 degrees, and Jean in DeKalb reporting 29 degrees not that long ago. We maintain a little bit of a clearer sky, although a few clouds have started to drift into the area considering we have our next weather system passing us to the north. You see a little bit of that snow up across northern Michigan and that cloud cover that's extending a bit further down to the south and west. And we're seeing a little bit of that cloud cover rolling through, but we are going to stay dry here in the shorter term. But that cloud cover did allow for a pretty vibrant sunset for many of our Mercy Health SkyTrack cameras across the region, including still some faint color there off the distance up in Beloit, Wisconsin. Our temperatures tonight will drop, but not nearly as far as where we have been these last few nights. We maintain a little bit more of that cloud cover, and we'll call it even a mostly cloudy sky as we head through the overnight hours. Pretty shortly after 10 p.m. though, our temperatures likely plateau and hold relatively steady in the upper teens or right around that 20-degree mark for the rest of the night. An overnight low temperature of around 17. Heading into tomorrow, that cloud cover going to play a big role in where our temperatures will end up. If we maintain a lot of that cloud cover longer into the afternoon, we could see those temperatures likely hold in the 30s. Now, this would still be warmer than where we were today, but it could not be quite as warm as where we would be if we cleared our sky out. This next weather model shows us if we had a completely clear sky and the lack of the influence of that snow cover, we could even see a few spots pushing the 40s as we head into tomorrow. I do have a forecast high temperature of 39 degrees, but would not be shocked if a few locations end up touching that 40-degree mark. A mostly cloudy sky and above freezing. That would be the first time that we'd be above freezing since the 10th of the month of February. That was more than a couple of weeks ago, the last time we made it above that freezing mark. A couple of weather systems to talk about next week in the form of some light rain chances with those temperatures rising above freezing. Sunday night into Monday, a really weak weather system passes through, maybe a few sprinkles into early Monday. More likely some light rain then arrives Monday night into Tuesday morning. Both Monday and Tuesday afternoons likely are dry, but our next weather system then would arrive during both of those overnights. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, a more widespread weather system that could tug in a little bit of that cooler air on the backside that may potentially allow for a little bit of a wintry mix. So in the shorter term, see this temperatures climbing into the 40s, near that 40-degree mark for Sunday, 44 for Monday and Tuesday, near 45 for Wednesday. Our next few chances for rain likely come in the overnight windows of Monday night and going into Tuesday night. Our next widespread weather system arrives Wednesday going into Thursday. Could bring a wintry mix on the back end of that, but it does bring a slight cool down, although temperatures still likely near or just above average going into the end of the week.
Warmer days on the way. Thanks, Jordan. Drew's in next with sports. The bowling state championship went down today, and somebody must be crowned state champs. Stay tuned for the results.
Now, sports with Drew Collins.
High school bowling doesn't get much better anywhere in Illinois than it does right here in the state line. And there was more evidence of that today. Two of our local teams finished in the top 3 at the IHSA Girls State Tournament at the Cherry Bowl. We start with Hononegah and sophomore Addison Bryan. and she gets the strike. And she was pumped up. Senior Kaylin Davis is up next. She also gets the strike. Davis had a high game of 254 today. Emily Mulranen was Hononegah's top bowler. She'll get the spare. Hononegah finished in 3rd place as a team. That's the best finish ever by a Hononegah girls team. Now for the Harlem Huskies, Haley Semenchuk, a freshman, rolls and drops all 10 pins. Here's another freshman, Sarah Wilson. That's how it's done. Junior Allison Roberts keeps it going for the Huskies. She drops them all. No Husky had a better tournament than this young lady, junior Ashlyn Tevez, and she gets the strike. She finished as the 2nd best individual bowler in the state. Harlem won the state team championship. It's Harlem's 8th team championship in girls bowling, and it's their first since 2018.
I just knew I wanted to do my game and do whatever I could to help the team win, because this has been a long time in the making. After coming short freshman and sophomore year, I just really wanted this for the team, and I wanted us to win.
Well, I've always said the Nick 10's the toughest conference there is in bowling, and we just proved it again this year.
A big day for high school swimmers. Sectional meets were held, and our one local was at Jefferson. Scott Leber was there.
The winner in each event was guaranteed a trip to state next weekend. So were swimmers who topped the state qualifying times. This is the 200 medley relay. Hononegah was a strong 2nd place. DeKalb won that event. DeKalb swept all 3 relays. Next, it's the 200-yard freestyle. Hononegah's sophomore Bryson Beck had the best time coming into the meet. He lived up to that, winning the event. So Bryson Beck will go to state. Beck later won the 500 freestyle. Harlem junior Bowden Shields is also state-bound in 2 events. He won the 200 individual medley here in a personal record time. Shields also won the 100 breaststroke. Hononegah had another swimmer qualify for state in the 100 butterfly. Senior Cale Miles took 1st place in a personal best time. Boylan's Gavin Velasquez, a junior, did not have the top times coming in his 2 main events, the 50 freestyle and the 100 freestyle. But Velasquez was ready to roll. He won both events. Velasquez helped Boylan to a 3rd place finish in the team standings. Hononegah finished in 2nd place. DeKalb won the team championship.
The 11th ranked Badgers took a tough Oregon team to overtime. They were outscored in OT and lost 77-73. John Tonje led the team in points, rebounds, and assists, but couldn't pull off the win. The Badgers will move on to host Washington on Tuesday. And stick around on Fox 39, where the Fighting Illini will host Cooper Flag and number 3 Duke. This will tip off at 7 p.m., and you're not going to want to miss it. The Bulls are wrapping up against the Phoenix Suns, and looks like the Suns took this one 121-117. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Excited for the warmth. The warmth is coming. I know that we don't like the cold.
That's right.
I know you like some of the cold.
As long as it's not like 90, 95 degrees. I'll take 0 over 100.
Spring days are ahead. I'm representing spring. It's coming.
I heard you say it's been almost a few weeks since we've been over freezing. And
Right.
I heard that and I was just like, shoot.
The 10th, that was the last time. 12 straight days where we have been below freezing.
We're due for the warm weather. It's coming.
We almost got there today. We hit 31, but we have warmer weather on the way coming into the night tonight and going into tomorrow. Still be a little bit chilly though. Temperatures down in the teens with increasing cloud cover. The first warning interactive radar from Rockford, Glass and more. But we're back into the 40s as possibly as early as tomorrow, right around 39 for that high. 44 for Monday and Tuesday. That does come with a few more rain chances, mainly during the overnight windows, Monday and Tuesday night.
Thanks, Jordan, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.